But a funny thing happens in our scripture passage this morning. Did you catch it? In verse 11, Jesus enters Jerusalem and he goes to the temple. And after looking around at everything there, he leaves. He goes out to Bethany with his disciples. He doesn't establish right then and right there a new reign. And he doesn't proclaim himself as victor. He simply surveys the site of past military victories. Victories which didn't prevent God's people from continuing to turn away from God. And then he continues on his journey to the cross. My friends, how easy it is to find ourselves in the crowd. How hard it is to find ourselves at the cross. And this is perhaps the most fundamental aspect of Holy Week. The piece that if you miss it, then you miss the whole point. Because you see, Jesus did not come to overthrow, but to fulfill. Jesus came to remind us that God fulfills God's promises, and that we can trust in those promises. Jesus' ministry, his life, his death, and his resurrection stand as a testament, not to God overthrowing sin and death in one victorious moment, as if sin and death somehow don't exist for us anymore. Because we still sin, don't we? And we all still die. Instead, Jesus is a testament to God's love for us. A love that fulfills a promise that not even sin and death can overcome. So even though we still must deal with sin, and we must still contend with death, they do not have the final say. God does. And God promises to sustain us in and through Jesus Christ. The cross, then, becomes not a sign of death for us, but a sign of hope. Brothers and sisters, this is the hope of Easter. And it is a hope that draws us to Jesus. A hope that sustains us as we follow him through the crowds of Palm Sunday, past the temple and its broken promise, and out towards the cross at Golgotha. It is a hope that allows us to see through that cross, so that we might catch a glimpse of God's dream for all of creation. And it is a dream